quick video. It's 96 degrees. It is boiling hot out here. Boiling. Ugh, I'm miserable. You know what? Let me unplug my phone because whenever I have it plugged in, is it still recording? Yes. First of all, this hormonal thing going on with me is making me break out. I had a pimple on the side of my face, by the temple, above the temple, on my forehead, and now I have one on my left cheek, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, why at my age am I still getting these whiteheads? Apparently it means that your pores are clogged. I am running out of my favorite cleanser, so I've been using another cleanser. Maybe that's what it is. Because anytime I use another cleanser on my face, it freaks out. So maybe it's not hormonal. Maybe it's the cleanser. Or maybe it's both. I have no idea. But the cleanser that I use is expensive. It's like $37. And I do have, what is that? That money that you save up, I have like $12 at the Ulta, whenever you buy something and it adds up, and you can use that as money towards your next purchase. But even like that, it's expensive, it's still like almost $30 anyway. Where's this guy parked? Is he gonna get out or not? I'm at the drive-thru trying to get some food for my son, and I want to make sure I give this guy room to be able to get out, because for some reason restaurants have parking near the drive-thrus, which is stupid. They should not have any parking on that side. Are you going to get out or not, sir? Because I would like to move forward. The people behind me are going to get upset. Oh, his daughter's getting in. You know what? This is just my favorite time of the year, when all the kids are out of school and the parents and the kids are out and about, taking up time for everybody else. I love it. I love it. Not. The other day that I went to the store, I'm on a rant mood right now. The other day I went to the store. When am I not in a ranting mood? I'm telling you all probably think, oh, Moon is just so delightful. She's so sweet. No, I'm grouchy most of the time. I'm grumpy cat. That's what I am. But, okay, they're not going to leave. They decided, oh, we're going to get down. Okay, so now you're going to cross the street. Okay, now she's leaving with her mom. Great, okay. Yeah, thanks for that, sir. Taking up our time over here. Anyway, when I went to the store, I was just like, why is everybody with their kids? It brought back memories to me when I would go with my child sometimes, but not really. I would always go to the store without the kids. Why? Because I didn't want to be taking forever. We did not need to go aisle through aisle and me asking them, so what do you want? Do you want that? Are you going to eat that? Are you going to eat all of that? Do you really like that? Okay, well then get it. And don't forget to get this either, because it goes with that too. And I'm like, make a freaking list. Go to the store yourself and get what you need for your child. Okay? Aside from all that, I saw a lot of people with their carts. I'm not kidding you when I say this. Overflowing with food. Overflowing with food. I was counting my items and trying to ring up in my head, how much is this going to come out to? How do these people have money? I'm not kidding you. Mine came out to $101, per usual. They must have had close to $300 worth of food. If not, maybe a tad more. How? You are in shorts. You don't look like you just got out of work. You don't look like you work. How do you have that much money for all of that food? Is it your Social Security money? I mean, your retirement money? I don't understand. I don't understand. But anyway, I guess we'll just say it's not my business. Who cares, right? Who cares who can afford what? I'm just upset that I can't, So anyhow, Now, I was just listening to one of my favorite YouTubers. I don't always agree with him, but I do like listening to him. And today he was actually giving good advice. I like when he gives good advice, you know, and he was talking about women and men and women, you know, with children. And it really ironically, I saw another video by one of his good friends that put out a video as well, something having to do with men and women. Now, the friend's video was a short, and it was about how this man was talking to his, I guess, girlfriend. He answered the phone, and he's like, hey, what's up? What's going on? And she was like, well, where are you at? Like, I'm just wondering where you at. You haven't come home, and, you know, you haven't really been hanging around home either. Like, what's up with that, you know? And he was like, well, I really don't get any time to myself at home. I'm always doing something for you all. Your kids are always going around running rampant. They don't listen to anything. They don't listen to me or you. And you have to be yelling at them constantly to get them to settle down. And he's like, I'd rather just be out here in my peace, you know? And by the way, those kids are not his. They're his girlfriend's kids. And I put in the comment section, like, yeah, like, I understand it completely, because I was a single mom for many years, and I didn't always have a boyfriend, you know. I learned very quickly that I did not need one as a mom. Now, I wish I would have done better, yes, but I learned very quickly that I did not need a boyfriend as a single mom. I was happier as a single mom with my kids. Even though they drove me nuts, I probably drove them nuts too. We had our good times, we had our bad times, but I was happy, they were happy. Whenever a boyfriend would come into the picture, yeah, we were all unhappy, because the boyfriend just didn't know how to handle that. Maybe they weren't ready for an already made family. Maybe they wanted their own family, but they just didn't know how to handle that. And, you know, I got dumped a lot because of it, which was fine with me. Yeah, it was a little disappointing because I wanted a relationship, yeah, but it was better off that they didn't stick around. Now, with my favorite YouTuber that's live right now as we speak, you know, he was giving steps as to what makes a good woman, and I agreed completely with all of it. The very first one, you know, was to save yourself for marriage. And you all, I am so, anytime he mentions that, and anytime he mentions how a woman mentions their body count, and somebody put in his comments in the chat, like, women with big body counts expect men to match what they're making with their body count. And that's not me, but when he mentioned body count, I have a past. Obviously, I have 2 children with 2 different dads. Obviously, I have a past, you know, and I'm not trying to be too hard on myself, because I don't regret my children. However, I do regret the people that I was with, and I regret not saving myself for marriage. Now, granted, trigger warning, I was groomed at a very young age, at 15, and there's a whole story there that I'm not going to get into right now, but yeah, it led me down a very dark path in my life, and now that I'm older, it's a constant reminder. I rebuked all the soul ties, but even rebuking the soul ties, sometimes the memory, your body, not your body, but your memory has a memory, if that makes any sense. And so, yeah, sometimes I'm reminded of that, you know, and I hate it with every fiber of my being, and I wish that I could have a do-over. I wish I could go back, you know, and make better choices in my life. And then I start building up all this anger, because I'm like, where the hell was my mother? Why did my mother ever give me any guidance? you know? And where was she to instill morals and values inside of me? Hang on, you all. I'm going to order. They're so nice here. I'm at Chick-fil-A, in case you're wondering. So anyhow, like I was saying, like, yeah, where was my mother? Oh, my mother was busy dating. She was busy having her life, and I apparently was in the way of that, you know? And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. She even told me, you know? But that's not really relevant right now to what I'm trying to get to. But I'm saying that here I give advice to single moms about how it's not too late. You're not, you don't have to wear that scarlet letter on your sleeve everywhere you go. Your children are your children, and you love them because they're a gift from God, just like I love my kids. You made your mistakes. That doesn't mean that that's it. Your life is over. You know, maybe you didn't have guidance either. You didn't have any morals instilled in you either. You knew no better. And you also didn't have Jesus. I knew of Jesus. I was invited to a church by my best friend at the time. It was a Baptist church. I guess I did get saved that day because I said the prayer of salvation and I was baptized. However, I didn't really get fed. I didn't get spiritually fed. I'll be honest. One of the pastors came to my home and he wanted more than just prayer with me, if you know what I mean. And his wife was pregnant. I think she was like having their either the third, fourth kid. That turned me off completely. So, yeah. I just thought church was bad. Church, bad. I never went back to a Baptist church, that's for sure. I did visit a Pentecostal church. That was just too much for me. And then I finally prayed for a church, and I finally ended up at the church that I am now. And I'm very happy where I'm at. But don't let that get in the way of where you need to be spiritually. Something bad happened to you at a church. That's just the enemy. It really is. The enemy is probably after your soul, after you, the way he is constantly after me. For something like that to have happened to me. But now that I know that I'm right with God. I know that I am saved. I know that Jesus is my Lord and Savior. There is nothing that can separate me from the love of God. And there is nothing that can separate you either. I'm sorry to do this again. I'm going to pause. Alright, you all. And thank goodness it's still recording. Because sometimes when I start talking, it just doesn't record anymore. And I have to start all over again. I'm like, are you serious after everything I just said? Oof. But like I'm saying, yeah, don't let that keep you, because nothing can separate you from the love of God. And I know your mind is going to go to that area where it says, oh, God doesn't care about you. Look, you know, you still have memories of when you were out doing this and that and other fornicating, you know, whatever. And you're just not good enough. So just give up, you know. or you think you've come up so far in your life, and here comes the enemy to whisper in your ear, no, you haven't. Remember that time back 10 years ago when you did this, you know? And you're just like, oh God, yeah, like, why can't that go away already, you know? Let me tell you. Thank you. Ignore that. That's somebody playing their music really loud, thinking that we all want to hear it. Even before I got saved, and I was going through all that in my past, my dark past, and I was trying to walk away from it. I was running into people left and right from my past that said terrible, horrible things about a little girl that they groomed. Okay? And they would say it to my face. And I didn't understand it until I finally got some sense into me and realized, whoa, wait a minute, why are they saying this about me? Like, what? I thought they liked me, you know? And these were grown men, mind you, that I was running into everywhere. I couldn't afford to move. I couldn't tell my mother what was going on, even though she drove me to a lot of these places, because that's how bad it was. But it gets better. It really does get better. Even if you can't move out of the place that you live in, they will eventually, and you'll never see them again. But then you're going to be left with you and God alone. Oh my gosh, that's the same truck. But that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing, because then He can start working in you. And then you can come and start saying your story and encourage the next person. Because no matter how bad of a life we've been through, God can still use it for your good. And I am speaking to you. I'm speaking that into you right now. God can still use your bad and turn it around for your good. But remember, He gets all the glory, not you. He gets all the glory. But you are glorified in Him. So you're not left out. And so I just thought I'd share that right now, because I'm like, I don't want to feel bad about myself. I don't want anybody to feel bad about themselves. And if you're living that life right now, where you're sinning, you're fornicating, you could still turn everything around. That's not the way it's supposed to be, and it's not your time to be doing that. It never will be your time. But it is your time to get right. So, I love you all in Christ. Thank you for listening. Thank you for letting me share this part of my diary, my life's diary, with the world. And I will talk to you all again soon. Bye.